I love Zeke's sense of humor. He from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com. It's about excuse me 10:45 on the 8th of March, Friday, 2019. Use risk capital you can afford to lose, or do not play this game. There are better ways to have fun without throwing your money away. We're still looking at the idea of lower highs, lower lows. The idea of hitting bounces today is certainly still intact. We said it might be difficult to make lower lows because of the length of the move that we've had already. It did not negate the idea to hit bounces. And if you were so inclined to try the contra side, understand that that job is just as tough. No easy trade this morning. And truthfully, there rarely is an easy trade. I say simple, but not easy. Your timing, the levels you pick, your emotional control, it all plays in. We said we needed to wait for some moving averages perhaps to catch up. So I'm again suggesting that we still have a fairly tight range. Be very careful about expecting a big move out of either side. You like the short side and you get up into what you believe is the resistance zone and you give it a shot. Trade either works or it doesn't. Very hard to break down because of the level we're at. Not because it's a trend trade, but just simply because of the length of the move so far. And we are suggesting the half gap is back at this blue line, this 38.5, 39 area. And we're considering that to be our normal resistance first. Longs have to get above the 32s and then the 35s. And we said with someone speaking like Powell, you could have a bounce out of nowhere. There's a reactionary bounce contra to the range, not only for today, but for the week. Paid for sure, 32s to 35s, we said, if you are long this morning. And the half gap trade is back at 38.5. See, you're talking about exchanging recipes. Since my wife is out of town for a few days, took her to the airport last night. I'm on my own. So you guys have any wonderful recipes, let me know. She actually set me up pretty good with a couple of meals she's already prepared. And I said, leave me at least one night where I can get my steak and cheese or whatever. Just go get something. But the cat, I got to remember about the cat. A lot of responsibilities on me right now. What can I say? Better odds today, we said. Probably long side, still doesn't make it an easy trade. We're going to have some backing and filling until we get some news event to break one side or the other. Those of you who are looking at the day's range, understand that usually as we come into the 456, traders will take profits. And it could be a start of whack-a-mole, we won't know. And this is the long saying, get out of my territory. Two-way day. Yesterday's low, 38.5. Remember, key target. And I'm expecting today that resistance 38 to 42. If that doesn't hold, then obviously my guess is the day's low is in. And I said, we're going to get punches in the face as a short, and then you're going to have to regroup and take one more shot at it if you want the short side today. And here is our 15-minute variety. We've come a long way. Anybody that is coming into the 35s, make sure you are paid. I'm considering above 35 right now. Good fortune. The launch bar right here, you can see 25 lows, right? Anytime you can get that type of rotation, you got to think trail above it. And knowing that news is coming out and somebody talking and make it move kind of helps you to be conservative. So you guys that wanted short, that were disappointed you didn't get a chance to short, as it moves into what we think is resistance territory, you give it a shot. But again, think about, is it a whack-a-mole type trade or not? And out of the seemingly blue, we get these bounces. Just trap traders and then squeeze. So never feel that you're not going to get an equal opportunity for a shot at a trade. And you want to let the market get overbought in one direction or the other, because that's where your 456 gives you your edge. And there's our 5-minute chart. Paid for sure, coming into the 37.5 to 38.5. Doesn't negate those as targets, but from a proportion standpoint, you want to make sure that you're paid. BFS paid for sure, if you're long. And don't know if the day's low is in yet or not. Too early to tell. There's our 15, our basic chart. So this is a retest of the breakdown. And those of you who are sidelines, you should celebrate that we get a range expansion. It's good to have some volatility. It's good to have the market moving rather than just in one location where you don't feel like doing a whole lot. And the old axiom that I talked about earlier, that usually it's stand aside or buy the convenient trade when you're oversold, works. Very, very hard for traders to believe in that, but it will work more than not. And usually I find the moving averages come down and the price moves into it. And a half and half. This bar is your angel right here. Triggered at 29.5. Still using deep support at 12. Said I think the boys will use 12 as their deep support for buys. And we said, let's use the targets 20.25 to 19.75, 18, our support. Because it's risk and reward. It tells you you've got about 2 points left versus whatever you can get going the other way. So from 22, a basic idea is from 22, 2-point risk is back to 20 or get to 24. We'll talk about that in a minute. Think small. RTH has been very challenging, very narrow range. And we've got 29.5 as our middle right now. Program trade, right? Boom, boom, boom. Gotcha. And it's about a 10 to 12 point trade. Just when you think it's safe to go back in the water. Whack-a-mole has started. So the last to leave today loses. But unless the shorts are positions are knocked out, they're not going to worry about it until later in the day. But as their positions erode, and part of this may be rollover, but as their positions erode, then more and more will come out. So shorts really need to step to the plate and defend this 38 to 42 right now. Because I'm considering that as our primary resistance zone right now. And I said before, you don't care which side you're making it on as long as you're making your couple of points in a swing. And you can see, when you see how all this chop is here, black, white, piano bar, right? Piano keys. Black, white. Then look at this. White, 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 doji, white. And it's a program trade, 10-pointer, 10 to 12 points. Get out of here. That to me is evidence of a big boy buying, pushing back. And it leaves no support built up. So you can use your ratios, but the idea is this is a very fast move up. And then you can also get a fast move back down through it. Target usually halfway back, 4, 5, 6. Just trying to review all the things we've talked about. There's your 15. Equal opportunity employer, both sides have some capital. And on the day, obviously, shorts are still winners and bounces are contras to the day till the high goes. $18 to $22 support until proven otherwise. NQ. You guys that are using the widgets, just set them up. Plug in whatever you want. Just use your templates and then change it to whatever vehicle you want to use. It's a 60 back. 15-minute chart. And if the 10-minute chart is working, then at some point I said you're going to get a push. And that's when you want to have your 15 on to see that as well. So if you get stopped out, don't fight it. This is a third time through trade, a mini, right? You can see that. right from the middle. 1, 2, 3. Gotcha. Just that one lower low. Couple of ticks. Sucked in the shorts and then boom. Boys like the defending that 18 to 22. This is range trading. Long's had a great push, but still inconclusive in the bigger scheme. Fighting box, resistance box, support box just under us. Come a long way. These are reactionary bounces, but they're contrast to the range. The only thing that changes that is more time and building blocks to get up here, or some news event. That could happen too. Breakdown retested. Now the battle. Learn to identify the battle lines. And then next resistance up here. Right? So I'm suggesting that that's our current resistance ahead of the 45 to 48. And this is how you can trade intraday, just trying to understand where support is, where resistance, and risk and reward. We said we'd talk about that today. We will before we break. We said this specific bar. Right in there. I said that's our next support low. And when the market is moving hard and fast and measures aren't working and everything else, I want to see a chart like this in whatever frame I want, whether it's 50 minutes or 20 minutes or 3 minutes. I want to go and I want to see evidence on a chart. I want to just see it on a spreadsheet. I want to see the specific bar. That's the specific bar I referenced. February 12th is 20 and a quarter. Gotta bust that. Then we open up the door down below. These become targets. Shorts know that. If I know that, the shorts know that. And that's why I call them support targets, because until you break them, they're your support. And the shorts trying to bust that. Say, no, get out of here. You're not going to hold. Step by step. We've come a long way in a couple of days through this whole box. There's nothing to sneeze at. That's why I said be conservative today. Short side, taking too much short. It's already done what we had hoped to do. Doesn't mean we can't go lower, but the odds are that you got to do some range trading and see if a big boy steps in as the moving averages catch up. That's been the problem, risk and reward. Hope that helps.